Good morning, brothers and sisters, church family. This morning we're going to talk about digging ditches. Always hard work, never fun. I know a lot of us, including myself, are going through some trying times and we're seeking the Lord for answers. It feels like everything from the outside, we're getting attacked from all different angles, and troubles are stacked upon troubles. And as we seek the Lord, and sometimes we just want to hear an audible voice, and it never comes. Sometimes we want to hear that still small voice that Elijah heard, and oftentimes that doesn't come. And often it feels as though God goes silent, and we're stuck wondering with the questions that we don't have answered. But more often than not, at least in my own experience, when I stop asking the question, the Lord really delivers the answer, and more often than not, He delivers that answer through His Word. And this morning was no different than any other morning. I decided to get up and do my morning reading. I'll spend some quiet time with the Lord to start my day. This morning I decided to go into the 2 Kings and just start reading there. And as I got to chapter 3, I really got my answer. And I hope if there's any of you that are out there struggling, having difficulties, and I just kind of want to show you almost the beauty in this struggle, that it's not senseless, it's not worthless. So to preface this, in 2 Kings, this is when Elijah has already been taken now, and Elisha takes over his position. King Ahab, the king, has been killed in battle, and his son takes over the throne, Jehoram. But at this time, when his son takes the throne, the king of Moab rebels and revolts against Israel. He normally would send gifts to his father Ahab, but now that the son has taken the throne, he no longer sends those gifts and is being rebellious. So the son of Ahab, the one that just assumed the throne, is now wants to make battle with Moab. So he gathers the king of Edom and the king of Judah to go help him take in this battle. And I want to start in chapter 3, starting in verse 9. And it says, the king of Israel, and this is the son of Ahab, Jehoram, and he says, the king of Israel went with the king of Judah and the king of Edom, and they marched on that roundabout route 7 days, and there was no water for the army and no water for the animals that followed them. And the king of Israel said, Alas, for the Lord has called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab. This was like a self-proclamation. But Jehoshaphat said, Is there no prophet of the Lord here, that we may inquire of the Lord by him? So Jehoshaphat is the only king that wanted to hear from the Lord and get his direction on this matter. So one of the servants of the king of Israel answered and said, Elisha, the son of Shaphat, is here, who poured water on the hands of Elijah. And Jehoshaphat said, The word of the Lord is with him. So the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat, the king of Edom, they all went down to him. And Elijah said to the king of Israel, he said to the son of Ahab, he says, What have I to do with you? Go to the prophets of your father and the prophets of your mother. These are the prophets. These are his father and his mother served Baal. And he's talking about, why should I answer anything from you? Why do you come to me? Go to the prophets of your fathers and your mother. But the king of Israel said to him, No, for the Lord has called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab. And Elijah said, As the Lord of hosts lives, before whom I stand, surely were it not that I regard the presence of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, I would not look at you nor see you, but now bring me a musician. So Elijah is saying, if it wasn't for the presence, the king that he recognized, Jehoshaphat, he would not allow them even in his presence. He wouldn't see them. So then Elijah prophesies this, and he says, Thus says the Lord, make this valley full of ditches. He's telling them, dig ditches, dig these canals in this valley. For thus says the Lord, you shall not see wind, nor shall see rain, yet the valley shall be filled with water, so that you, your cattle, and your animals may drink. This is a simple matter in the sight of the Lord, and he will also deliver the Moabites into your hand. So we see that God is not only providing them their necessities, the provision that they ask for, but he's giving them the assurance of victory in their battle. So in this, it says, Now it happened in the morning when the grain offering was offered, that suddenly the water came by Edom, and the land was filled with water. And when all the Moabites heard that the kings had come up to fight against them, all were able to bear arms. Older were gathered, and they stood in the border. Then they rose up early in the morning, and the sun was shining on the water. And the Moabites saw the water on the other side as red as blood. And they said, This is blood. The kings have surely struck swords, and have killed one another. Now, therefore, Moab to the spoils. So we see what's happening here is the sun rises on the water that God provided. The enemies of Israel see that it was as blood. So they thought that the kings had fought against each other. And they said, now that the kings have fought against each other and shed their own blood, in their weakness, in their time of weakness, we're going to go and take the spoil. This will be an easy victory for us. And this is one thing I want us to recognize here. They dug the ditches. They were faithful in digging the ditches. And in their faith, because they did this, God provided the blessing and provided them a victory. And the enemies saw this blessing in a different light. As the sun rose, they saw it as blood. But what they didn't see in this blessing, that these men, these battled men that showed up for battle, the men that dug these ditches, because of the blessing of the Lord, were refreshed, and they were strengthened in this blessing, and they were ready for battle to the demise of their enemy, Moab. So in this, I just want us to understand that digging ditches is extremely hard work, and when we're facing these struggles and when God puts us in a place that he wants us to be, we're going to come against struggles. So digging ditches is a struggle, and digging ditches feels like a work that isn't rewarded oftentimes. We don't really always see the fruit of the struggles that we're going through. But I want you to know this. We dig ditches because we do it in faith for the one that told us to dig. We dig ditches, and these ditches are purposeful for God. There's a reason behind it. We serve a purposeful God. Third, digging these ditches, though we can't see the future, we don't know what's coming, it prepares us, as it did the Israelites, it prepares us to receive the blessings of the Lord. So I hope that is an encouragement to you, and I know that really helped me this morning of answering some of the things that I needed to hear, I needed to see, and going through struggles, it's not easy, but I serve a purposeful God, and I know that there's greater things that will come. And I just thank you for watching, and again, if you would, subscribe, hit the notification button so you'll be notified of new uploaded content. Tell your friends and family. Maybe this is something that would edify them. I thank you, and God bless.